Welcome everybody to another Kuta software worksheet tutorial. We're doing graphing lines in slope-intercept form today. If you really want the best and most comprehensive coverage on slope-intercept form, there's another video that talks about slope and slope-intercept form. That's a Kuta software worksheet tutorial, and there's also a notes section, so if you want to check that out, there's other videos. But this one, we're just doing graphing. So let's check this out. The reason why I'm including this video in here in addition to the comprehensive guide is because I've given this worksheet hundreds of times to students over the years, and I know other teachers use this worksheet a lot. It's super easy to find on the internet. It's super easy to print. It's really good to use. So let's go ahead and just break this down. So slope-intercept form, what is it? You probably know what it is. If you're watching this video, you've at least been introduced to it. I'm hoping. But it is y equals mx plus b. That's the most recognizable way that people see this. It was gray. Here we go. Plus b. Oops, I want this to be yellow. Okay. Now, the b equals the slope, equals the y-intercept. And I'm not sure why they chose b. They probably should have picked a better variable, but it is what it is, I suppose. Not that I like that phrase. I really don't like that phrase. I guess people chose it, and so we're forced to live with it. So slope is the m, and then x is the inputs, y are the outputs. Those stay how they are in the equation. When you're seeing these equations, you're always going to see the x, you're always going to see y, and unless it's a special case like this guy, number 6. And do they have another one? No vertical lines in this one? Oh, there is, number 8. Perfect. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. The step process to graphing. So steps to graphing. Step 1 is we are going to plot the y-intercept. Okay, so we have to first identify these pieces. We need to identify our slope and our y-intercept. So I guess it's kind of like a step 0, but I'm not going to write it down. Okay, you need to be able to identify it. So it's not just 1, it is -1. You always want to include the sign in front. This is our y-intercept. Okay. And then the value in front of x is our slope. That's always going to be our slope. Now, our slope should be written as a fraction. So we want to write this right as fraction. Why? Because we need a rise over a run. Another arrow. Okay. The slope is the same thing as the vertical change over the horizontal change. The difference in the y's over the difference in x's. So I'll write that one more time. Okay, just want to show you all the different ways we can iterate this. Okay, so another way to memorize this is you rise with the y's and you run from your x. So this is just two different ways of seeing this. Okay, I'm really only going to use this though. Another note is I always make the rise positive or negative, but the horizontal, the run, I always make positive. Okay, I like moving from left to right, where the top I go either up or down. Okay, because I read left to right. I don't know about you guys, but there are people that read right to left, but I read left to right. Step 1, plot the y-intercept. So if we're looking at, I'm just getting my step 2 ready. If I'm looking at this guy, my y-intercept is -1. What does that mean? I'm going to find the y-axis. Boom, there it is. I'm going to look for -1. Boom, there it is. And I'm going to plot it. Plot. Now, I'm going to use step 2. I'm going to use the slope to plot an additional point. I'm just going to say additional point, and I'll put an S on there. Additional. I don't know why do not fail me now, Apple Pencil. Additional point. And I'm going to do this maneuver. Because you can always add as many points as you want, but you really only need 1. Why? Because you only need 2 dots to make a line. So our slope is 1/4. We already said that. So that means I'm going to rise 1, and it's positive, so that's up. And I'm going to run 4, and that's positive, so that's right. Okay, positive direction for y. As you can see, these are positive numbers. Positive direction for x. As you can see, those are positive numbers. So I'm moving to the up, and I'm moving to the right. So I rise 1, so I go up 1. Boom. I run 4. 1, 2, 3, boom. And then I'm going to plot this guy. Boom. Now, this is everyone's favorite part. All you got to do, you've been doing it since kindergarten, connect the dots. And you're done. Draw the line through. Okay, draw the line through. Check this out. Okay, one thing that I cannot stand is when people just do like this and they're like, oh, I'm done. No, draw that line through and indicate that it continues forever, because this line represents everywhere this is a true statement. There's an infinite number of values that you can plug in for y and plug in for x, plug in for y and plug in for x that make this a true statement. So this line represents those infinite number of solutions. So don't only have it go through there. That would just be wrong. Okay, number 2, I suppose. Let's jump to number 2. Again, we're going to start by plotting the y-intercept. I'm going to go to exclusive, purple exclusive, plot the y-intercept. Okay, so I'm going to go to 2, plotted. Now, negative x, what does that mean? Well, that's our slope. So what number could be that in front of the x? Well, that would be a -1 times x. If we want, we can always change integers so that they are a fraction, so you recognize the rise over the run. So that's equal to a -1 over 1, and so -1 is our rise, and +1 is our run. I always put the negative in the top. So now I'm going to go down 1 unit, and I'm going to go to the right 1 unit, because that's my run. And there I go. I have 2 dots, so I am golden. There we go. And there's my line. Okay, let's change to this dark blue. On the flip side, we have this guy. Okay, +1 is our y-intercept. Then we go to our slope. Oh my gosh, there's no number in front of x. What does that mean? There is a number in front of x. You could say y equals 1x plus 1. So my slope is really 1 over 1. Okay, you always put an integer over 1. So I can go up 1 over 1, up 1 over 1. I can even go backwards. I can make it -1 over -1, because negative divided by negative is the same thing as positive, the same thing as a positive slope. These are all the same thing. So if I went negative direction, okay, down 1, and I went the negative x direction, which I don't like to do, but I'm just showing you can do it, because I think it confuses people. So if this confuses you, don't worry about it. But I'm just saying you can go backwards too, as long as you create an equivalent fraction. All right, this one's a little bit more straightforward. I'm going to do number 4. Start with -4. Boom, there's -4. There's our y-intercept. Remember, you want to keep the sign in front of your y-intercept. So if it's negative, it's negative. If it's positive, positive, okay? My rise is 4. My run is 3. So I go up 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Boom. Connect my dots. Boom. Okay. Let's do just one more over here. Okay, there's -3. I can always make it -3 over 1. So my y-intercept is -3. My slope is -3 over 1. So I'm going to go down 3 to the right 1. From this point, you always start at the y-intercept. Okay, so you want to start at your y-intercept. Very important. Make a star if you want. I made a star. And connect your dots. Okay. I know I'm cruising through this, but I really want to get to number 6. Okay. Oh my gosh, there's not even an x this time. What does that mean? Well, remember, the y-intercept is always the number that's by itself with no x. Okay. So we know our y-intercept is 4. Boom. There's 4. But what about the x? What happened to it? Well, what could make the x disappear? What number can you multiply by something to make it disappear? Multiply it by 0. So y equals 0x plus 4. Okay. Now, what does a 0 slope mean? Well, we can always write integer over 1 to equal the rise over the run. So we have rise here, rise of 0, and a run of 1. Okay. So we can go ahead and apply this. So we're going to rise 0. Okay. So we rise. We're not going to go up. We're not going to go down. We just stay flat. And then we're going to run 1, positive direction. We could keep doing this, and we're going to get a line here. It's a flat horizontal line. So anytime we get y equals a number, it is horizontal slope. Slope equals 0. This is true for any time it's y equals a number. Okay? And this just represents all the points where y equals 5. Notice how the x keeps changing, but y is always 5. That's, or 4, sorry. Can you imagine these are all 4s? 4, 4, 4, 4, okay, because y equals 4. All right, I really want to get to the number 8, so I'm going to go ahead and do this one quickly. -1, boom, up 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, over 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, boom, boom. Okay, now last one. X equals 5. This is different because there's not even a y. There's no y, so what do? Well, we're going to go to x equals 5. A common mistake I see is people go like this. No, it's not like that. Don't do that. That's a flat slope. That's horizontal. That's y equals a number. That would be y equals 0. X equals 5. Okay, we're just going to consider all the places where x equals 5. X equals 5 in all these spots. This would be the point 5.6. This would be the point 5.0. This would be the point 5, -3. Okay, what are you noticing? You're noticing that is a vertical line. Okay, now what's the slope of vertical line? If we take 2 points and find the slope in between, we notice that we rise 1, 2, 3 between those 2 points. 3. How much do we run? Well, we don't go to the left, we don't go to the right, so it's just 0. That is an undefined slope. Okay, so anytime it's x equals a number, it's a vertical line, and it's an undefined slope. So that is your lesson for today. Hopefully you understand how to graph this perfectly now. Thank you so much for watching, and you have a wonderful rest of your night, evening, morning, afternoon, whatever time it is. Talk to you later.